What's going on, everybody? Hey, this is your boy JC from Jceaglestalk. And guess what? Today I have with me a special guest, a San Francisco 49ers content creator. All right, I'm going to let her introduce herself and, and ask her what she's working on. So go ahead, introduce yourself and let them know what else you're working on.
Perfect. Yeah. So everybody knows me kind of as Chrissy. My name's Crystal Square. I used to write for Sports Illustrated All 49ers. I covered the team last year. It was amazing. This year, I've got some crazy stuff going on fantasy-wise. I'm going to be working with the FF Fantasy Alarm, which is really cool. Starting up a new podcast, which is actually going to focus on not just fantasy stuff. I want to do more like the mental health aspect of players and, everything that goes into the game, but behind the scenes and talking, to players, former players, whether they're current, former, that's my whole goal. Analysts. So I'm trying to get Katie Nolan on. Me and her have been in talks. So I've got a really cool podcast coming up that's just going to go beyond the sport and talk about, mental health and stuff that I really care about. So super pumped for that. I am moving to Italy soon. So on October 3rd, I'm moving to Italy. My time zones are going to be very different. I'm going to have to stay up super late to watch the games, which is crazy and new to me. But I do have some really cool news career-wise to announce to you guys. I'm just not there yet because I'm doing a special video and everything for that. But I mean, throughout the season, I live tweet the games. And I do little TikTok videos and whatnot too. So you guys can catch me on all my different stuff. I'm at Chrissy's Fantasy on Twitter and on my TikTok and Instagram and all that. So you guys can find me there. And my website, yes.
Yeah. Also, I saw you did an interview with T.O., ex-Eagle. So how was that like?
Oh, get your popcorn ready. I had to say that. No, he was incredible. So when I started out the interview, it was kind of embarrassing because I said his name wrong. Every single reporter or analyst, whatever, that I ever heard him say his name, I always thought it was Terrell Owens, but it's Terrell Owens. So I called him, sup, Terrell, da-da-da. And he's like, no, it's Terrell. And I was like, oh, my God. And I thought that we were going to have the worst interview ever. But we ended up talking for almost an hour. And he was just such a sweetheart. I asked him, what was his most memorable celebration that he had? Because, he was known for his celebrations.
Absolutely.
One of the ones I loved the most was the Sharpie when he was, San Francisco. He was playing for the Niners.
Yeah, I remember that game.
Oh, and he did that against the Seahawks of all people. So that's one that I'll forever remember. I love that. Absolutely. It's my favorite moment of his, but he's a very down-to-earth person. He was in the talks of doing, I think, some kind of relay race with somebody at the time. I think it was Brandon Marshall. So they had this whole thing going on and he wanted to hype that up. He wanted to hype up, his wine company that he started, his clothing company. This guy literally does it all. So you think like, okay, amazing football player. If you keep up with what he's doing still for training, I still think he could get out there and outrun half the receivers in the league.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think so too.
More than half. Like he'd probably be a top 20 for sure. So he was awesome. Yeah.
Top 20 right now, T.O. top 20.
I think so, man. Maybe even higher.
Okay.
Have you seen his body? That guy's completely ripped.
Yeah, but still. You know what? At conditioning, at heat. Well, how old is he right now?
I don't know. Is he in his 40s? I'm not sure.
Yeah, okay. I mean, look, everybody think they could come back in the game. Hey, Michael Jordan came back into the game and played for the Wizard, even though he probably still averaged about 20-something, but he wasn't the same. Like, I don't want T.O. to tarnish his legacy by coming back in and all of a sudden the first game. Like me, look, I'm a big fan of the Philadelphia Eagles. Jason Peters, we let him go. After last year, he went to Chicago and first game of the season, he's out. He's injured. Yeah. I would like to remember these great players at their best moment. Not like the sympathy, like, oh, come on, Peters. Oh, no, I want to remember that was that guy that was pancake people left and right. You know what I mean? That was T.O. That was like, hey, get your popcorn ready, with the towel, with the waiter, all that good stuff. That's how I don't want to remember these guys by. But look, I'm happy that you're here, and we are here for one reason and one reason only. It's so early, all right? The Philadelphia Eagles just won yesterday. y'all just won yesterday.
Ugh.
I know y'all want to soak in that win, but we got to move on. You know what I mean? The Philadelphia Eagle fans have to move on. It's only, we're taking it one game at a time, and we cannot spend too much time, 24 hours, boom, let's go. So the first thing for you is this. All right, so I know coming out the first game, as far as for the Philadelphia Eagles, we got a few injuries, but nothing serious. We got Epps, with the little concussion protocol thing, Hurts with little hamstring we saw throughout the game. And JJ Arcega-Whiteside, our MVP on our special team with a little tweak ankle and stuff like that. So what injuries are on the 49ers that came out of this past game yesterday?
Okay, so I'm going to start with one that wasn't completely, I guess, seen, but a lot of people are talking about it today. Not that it's like an injury that's devastating or whatever, and he actually still was in the game. He just wasn't playing as big of a role, and that's Brandon Ayuk. So Brandon Ayuk is still overcoming a hamstring sprain, and everyone's like, where's Ayuk? Where's Ayuk? Debo was like charging down the field. He caught literally every pass. He had a kind of bad fumble, but we're not going to talk about that just yet. But Ayuk is coming off of a hamstring injury, so that's something that we're still kind of monitoring. We haven't seen, the reps from him that we're used to seeing, and it's a little bit concerning. I think that coming off of last season, I've talked about this a lot on podcasts. The Niners were the second most injured team in the NFL in the last 20 years, which is that's crazy. I'm sorry. Anybody coming off of a season like that, you're going to have worries if you're bringing those players back, because a part of your brain is thinking, okay, are these players that could get re-injured? One of those players, unfortunately for me, was one that I was kind of keeping an eye on, is Rahim Mostert. Now, today they actually confirmed that he will be out for 8 weeks. He did not tear his ACL. They were thinking that at first, but you still saw him walking around on the sidelines and everything after that injury. And so what happened to him actually is a torn knee cartilage. And that's an injury that typically can take up to 8 weeks. Now, when you look at San Francisco, one of the top storylines that you think of is that we have an incredible running back field. Like that's
absolutely,
we've always had that, right? So always. And we see rookies stepping up big time. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that in a bit. But Elijah Mitchell, it was almost like he was that mini version of Rahim Mostert in the game yesterday. But to me, the most devastating thing, and I am going to touch a little bit more on the other injuries, the one that really crushed me, but something that came out of the Mostert injury that bothers me, and it's something I kind of DM'd with you about earlier, is the reaction that came from the fans during the game yesterday. So yesterday, Raheem's on the sidelines, people are complaining, whatever. But then today, people get on Twitter and they're saying some stuff. Last night, they're going into Raheem's wife's DMs on whether it be Instagram, Twitter. And I just need to read out this passage because what she wrote was devastating. And I think it's something that everybody should try to learn from, because, we're looking at our teams. Not only do we want the teams to get wins, that's why we want our players out there and healthy, but, we play in fantasy leagues. We gamble. We do these things that, might trigger us to say something a little hurtful when we don't understand the situation fully. And so I guess Raheem's wife, Devin, dealt with a lot of this last night, and she put up this post. Let me just read this to you. It's days like today where I truly contemplate never getting back on social media again. If today wasn't hard enough to get on here and have DMs about how my husband should kill himself, about how he should be cut, about how he's made of glass. I know I shouldn't care, but wow. And then she just goes on to say, basically, she's going to hold her babies extra tight tonight because of the horrible, nasty things that people said to her and that were tweeting at her husband just because he got injured. Because they're saying, your husband can't stay on the field. Like, he's ruining my fantasy league. He's this, that, whatever it may be. So I just want to say for a second, you know what? Anybody, especially the people that have never played football, but anybody who's sitting on their couch watching a football game, sitting there getting upset at a player for sustaining an injury, first off, needs to shut the hell up. Because I'm sorry, it's not like those players are going out there and they're purposely getting injured. Raheem came off of a really bad injury last year. Of course, it's going to be a little touch and go this year. That's kind of something that you have to take into consideration. Yeah. So I feel for him. That's one that's very devastating. But I think that, the narrative behind it and the way that people talk about these players needs to change. So that's just something I wanted to get out because I've been a little heated up about it all day today. And I'm just tired of seeing people get upset at the player. It's like, imagine you were that player. How would you feel? Imagine you're his wife and you're reading these go kill himself tweets. I just don't understand the world that we live in, that people think that that's okay. But anyways, let's move on. That's heartbreaking.
I just think because of that, I just think that people just look at the dollar signs.
Yeah.
All right. Like the average person doesn't make six figures. So football is a game, is a contact sport. So they're looking at it as you are making too much money, so you need to be on the field regardless. But what they don't realize that everybody is human, that those football players are real people outside of that field. They go home to their wife and kids, and sometimes you just can't prevent the injury. But I mean, look, people say that Philly fans are rude and mean and stuff like that. I don't think I ever saw anything like that coming out of Philly.
I hope you never do, honestly.
So I mean, I really think that the fans are passionate. You know what I mean? And I understand it. I played the sport, and not at no professional level, but I did play the sport, and trust me, some days you do want to rush back out there. We went through it ourselves. With Carson Wentz. When he tore his ACL, he tried to come back under 9 months, and then his back started hurting because he was trying to overdo it. So we went through this whole thing ourselves. But I don't think that anybody should get death threats just because of a game or injured players. So you're right. So let's move on. So what other injuries that you said that you really wanted to talk about for the 49ers at this Sunday against the Eagles that's not going to be there?
Yeah, so I'm not sure if he's not going to be there or not. This is just one that I've been monitoring a little bit. But Dre Greenlaw, he went out with a groin injury. He didn't return in the game yesterday. He had an incredible pick six for us. So that's a player that I feel like makes a difference when he's on the field. And I think, a groin injury, I'm not sure how long those injuries can typically take up to, but I'm praying that he just does his rehab and he'll be back out there. So that's not one I'm crazy concerned about. But one that I am definitely 100% concerned about is Jason Verrette. So he went out and what looked like a knee injury. He did not return. He battled, he's a player that, again, has battled back through a lot of different adversities. He's been injured. He's been on and off the field with injuries. And you saw him kind of just walking along the sideline. He was able to walk on his own. But every time he put that foot down, you could just see something was going on. He was screaming. He was almost in tears. And I know I felt it when he was walking around. I'm like, oh my God, this is terrible. So they just confirmed today that it was a torn ACL and he will miss the remainder of the season because of it. And that is our quarterback position. That is really the one position that I don't think that we had a proper backup kind of filling for us. That's the thing I'm a little concerned about. And I'm going to touch a bit more on that later on when we talk about it. But that's definitely an injury that will shatter the 49ers quarterback position, I think. We have Emmanuel Mosley, but I think he's injured right now as well. And then we have Domidor Lenoir. And I don't know if we picked him in the 5th round. I don't know if he's at that level that JV was at. I'm being honest. JV was a monster. You see, when JV was on the field, Goff was scared to throw the ball to any of his receivers that were near him. He was he's terrifying. And then as soon as JV went off, everything shifted in the game. And Goff ended up making this comeback, and we almost lost the game. It was nuts. So I think that's definitely a concern for me. We need to fill that position. And yeah, again, I've got a couple tidbits to hit you guys with later on, but that's something I'm devastated by. Those are the main injuries that happened in yesterday's game. So,
Richard Sherman is still out there. So, I mean, I
got lots to say about that.
Bringing him back, though. I mean, Richard Sherman, what do you think about just trying to reach out to Richard Sherman and trying to bring him back for this? He knows the system already. So, what's the
he knows the system. Not only that, and he's also, I think, captain material. He's somebody that's always made a difference with the 49ers. When he's out there, everybody just seems to play better. He tells people where to go. He's got that mentality. He's Legion of Boom, right? So that's still in his system. The only thing that concerns me about him is that he obviously has a lot of mental health issues going on right now. So I just don't know. I even tweeted about this. If he's ready to go mentally, I would love to see him suit back up for the Niners, because I think that, when somebody goes through some kind of adversity in their life, they either take that adversity and come back stronger from it, or, it can put them sidelined for a bit. So we just don't know where he's at mentally right now. If he's ready to play, I'd love to see him come back. And I think that's an easy decision. We also just signed Josh Norman. He was
Josh Norman. Oh, yeah. Yes. Thank you. Thank you for Josh. Thank you. Josh Norman is trash, but thank you for signing him. because we about to cook him on Sunday. But let's go ahead. Oh, man, we about to cook Josh Norman. Josh Norman, the last time I saw him play, he was getting bullied ball by Derrick Henry.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, but anybody would. I'm sorry.
Okay,
that's Derrick Henry.
Also, the year before that, he got beat for a winning touchdown. A former quarterback, Greg Ward, caught the winning touchdown on Josh Norman. I'm just saying.
Okay, but did he play for the 49ers? Did he play for the 49ers before? No. Different system, man.
All right, look.
Just
all
wait.
Right, you know what? Good luck. Good luck. Hey,
he didn't suit up yesterday. You know what? And there's a reason he wasn't ready to play. And maybe you've got a little bit of, knowledge on him that I don't know of, and that's fine. But
he sucks.
If he gets out there, who knows, man? Maybe there's a difference.
Look, I pray
Sign
that he's
Richard.
out there.
Sign Richard. That's what I want.
I pray that he's out there. I really pray that he's out there. But
no bias.
No bias at all. Hey, real quick, before we move on, hey, shout out to the people that's in the chat. Big Play Slay. Bobby Murphy said he got my back. Prince Production, Richard also say, JC, I got your back. And the Eagles are in this. Prince Production, Ethan, Philly Ace, Michael Brewer. I mean, we got so many people in chat. Hey, look, just shout out all to y'all. Everyone. So, hey, next question, right? What did you like most about your team from the week 1 win? That was like, man, we are going to, ain't nobody going to beat us. Like, we are unstoppable. What stood out to you?
Okay, so this is kind of an unorthodox answer, but I think that the whole situation we have going on at quarterback, as much as people think it's a bad thing, I think it's a really great thing. I think that we've got two situational quarterbacks that you put them in when it's their time to shine, and they're going to do well for you. Jimmy G had a fumble.
Real quick, every expert says if you have 2 quarterbacks, you have no quarterback.
Okay, but they have never seen it being done with Shanahan before. And you know what?
The Saints. The Saints got 2, with Drew Brees and Taysom Hill. So, but Drew Brees is Hall of Famer, though. Drew Brees is Hall of Famer, though.
Okay.
Jimmy G Hall of Fame? Is he, was Drew Brees' job ever in question at all?
No.
No.
Okay, and that's fine. And I understand that. But what I'm saying is that, you know what? Jimmy's got that fire now behind him because he knows that if he screws up, he's got a guy that's going to come up and take his job. I don't think that Trey is 100% ready to be that starting guy every game. I think that he gets in there and does a little run plays every now and then. But you know what? Jimmy got in there and he ran too. So I feel like he's like, okay, this guy's behind me now. If I don't play well, I'm gone. And I think that I saw that version. I saw that fiery Jimmy. And I know people can say, this is week 1. We don't know what's going to happen down the road. But you know what? I was impressed with what I saw. He was nearly perfect. The fumble at the beginning was horrible. Don't get me wrong. That was horrible. But I think that was more on, what's his name? Alex Banks? Not Alex Banks. Alex Mack, sorry. I'm pretty sure that was more on him. And I read a bunch of stuff today saying that as well. But the quarterback situation makes me excited because if we're having a moment of weakness with quarterback, we can swap it around. We can be, what we saw in New Orleans, and maybe it works out a bit better for us. Who knows? But the major thing for me that I got excited about is definitely the running back situation with our rookies. And just in general, I feel like JaMycal Hasty, he stepped up big time. Those 2 guys alone, we already know that, 49ers, they rely heavily on their running backs.
Absolutely.
And so to have good running backs, it's exciting because you're like, okay, yes, Mostert is out for 8 weeks and that sucks. But I think I'm a believer in what I'm seeing out of Elijah Mitchell. And I think that he's a guy that can carry the team. And then you got Hasty right alongside him. That is amazing. Let me just say, this is somebody I've always been excited about. But Mr. All-Pro Fred Warner is somebody that I will forever say.
I like Fred. Fred.
He is somebody that I think is one of the reasons that 49ers fans should be excited for this season. Because he had a career high 11 tackles yesterday. 11. And that's literally a team high. I don't think the team's ever even done that. So somebody like him, it's reminiscent of what I used to see out of Patrick Willis days. You know what I mean? So I'm feeling really good about him. I get excited every time he's on the field. Who else was I really excited for? Man, Samson Ebicom, that guy there, he brought the pressure at the end and he ended up saving us from having a Jared Goff touchdown that could have resulted in them coming back and getting the OT. Or taking it to OT, and who knows, they probably could have won in that because our momentum would have shifted. But yeah, I mean, in general, okay, I'm not seeing the same defense that I saw out of the entire team, and that's a little troublesome for me. But the offensive line kind of kicked it up a notch. You know, like last year, that was one of our biggest struggles. This year, they only allowed 1 sack so far on Jimmy. And I'll take that because they used to allow so many friggin' sacks, and it was terrifying because he's already got an injury, and we're scared to see what could happen if Jimmy goes down and whatever. So offensive line kind of, you know, they piqued my interest a little bit. But yeah, I mean, I'm just seeing the fire back in Jimmy, and that's something I'm excited about.
Okay. Okay. So with that being said, well, let's jump into the quarterback competition then. Who would you want to start for the 49ers?
Okay, so I've gone back and forth from this. I don't know if you've known what I've tweeted about very long, but like I am a big Jimmy G fan. Like I'm to the point that like in 2019 when we went to the Super Bowl that season, I made a bet with Twitter. I was like, look, if the Niners win the Super Bowl, I'll get a tattoo. The Niners obviously didn't win a Super Bowl that year, but I said to my followers, I'm like, look, I'll still get a tattoo anyways. Like, screw it. I didn't get the logo tattooed on me, but I got "Feels Great, Baby" tattooed on me instead, because that was something in week 8. We were 8-0, and Aaron Andrews interviewed Jimmy Garoppolo, and she's like, 8-0, yeah. How does it feel? And he's like, "Feels great, baby." And it was just amazing. So I got that quote tattooed on me because that season kind of breathed some life back into me as a 49ers fan. And so if you're asking the biased me, I say that Jimmy G is the guy. If you're asking, you know, the part of me that is excited to see a rookie come in and potentially be the guy that's going to lead our team down the road, I think that Trey Lance is incredible. But like I was saying to you earlier, I think it's really great to have both those options right now. If there is a day that Jimmy mentally isn't feeling it, and like he's one of those mental quarterbacks, I think if he has a bad game, he just can't get out of it normally. The fumble, we're lucky. Like I think Mark Sanchez was broadcasting the game. He's the color commentator, which was very interesting. But he even said, he's like, Jimmy's got to get those knucklehead plays out of the way right away, and then he's fine afterwards. And so I think that that's just how he is. And I think he's a quarterback that really builds off of a confidence of a win. So because of the week 1 win, I do think that Jimmy's going to be that starting guy going forward. I think they'll swap out Lance whenever they feel like, okay, we've got a big bomb, maybe a Hail Mary moment. We're going to throw Lance in because his deep balls are incredible. But I think Jimmy's got just that little spark going on. So I'm going to ride with him right now. He was nearly perfect. Like I was saying, like he went 17 of 25. He had 314 yards and 1 touchdown, no interceptions. So for me, that's a really great thing because I think one day in camp, he threw friggin' 5 interceptions and everyone's like, oh my God, he's going to throw a pick in every game. Like, this is horrible. But he didn't do that in yesterday's game. And so I'm seeing a more calmed, cool, collected version of Jimmy. And that's the guy I'm going to ride with right now. I think he's obviously going to start on Sunday against you guys as well. But I do think you're going to see some sneaky plays, especially the running plays. Detroit figured out Lance pretty quick and they shut down those running plays. But I do think he's going to get back in there and he'll try it against you guys too.
Yeah, I saw the highlights and I watched it over and over and over again. I'm like, man, we're about to have a field day with them next week.
Oh, man.
Because, like besides, that little kid that came in after Mostert got hurt. What was his name again? That running back?
Elijah Mitchell?
Yes, he was. Well, he definitely ran for over 130.
Yeah,
I think.
He was 19 carries for 104 yards and a touchdown.
So he's definitely got the speed. But as far as Jimmy goes or any run quarterback goes, the Eagle front is not going to have it. And I think that if the fans could see this, right? Like, I'm a fan. So I don't get paid to be a fan or anything like that. Imagine what a defensive coordinator is watching right now. The same thing with Shanahan. Imagine, he's watching the Philadelphia Eagle defense and saying, man, I have to come up with some creative plays because if you try to play these guys straight up, it's not going to happen on both sides. Shanahan, his best bet is to start Trey Lance because his playbook opens a lot more than a sitting duck back there as a Jimmy G. If his first read is not there, go back and watch the Atlanta Falcons highlight from yesterday.
Oh, I didn't watch them at all.
3 seconds. The Philadelphia Eagles would get there in 3 seconds.
Yeah.
So if Jimmy G think that he's going to have some time back there, he's not.
No.
So
he did have a lot of time. I'll give you that. Yeah.
There was going against who again? the Detroit Lions.
Yeah, I know.
Exactly.
It's the Lions. I get
So
it.
just like people say that we went against the Atlanta Falcons. So they kind of, those are the bottom feeders, they call them. Those teams would always get beat and everything. But you looking at the Philadelphia Eagles defense, right? Yesterday was a great sign for all Philly fans. The Atlanta Falcons was averaging 21 something points last year.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday, they could not get in the end zone. They kicked 2 field goals in the first quarter, and that was it.
Yeah.
That was it.
That's pathetic.
Like, you are an NFL team with talent. The only person that's going off that team is Julio Jones. But Kyle Pitts is there. Ridley is there. Mike Davis is there. Matt Ryan is there. So Hurts is there. I mean, so they have offensive power, but they could not go past the end zone because of our defense. So that's what I'm saying. If I was Mike Shanahan, I guarantee you that Trey Lance play a lot more next week.
Kyle Shanahan.
Yes, Kyle Shanahan. Mike Shanahan, Kyle Shanahan.
That's okay, man. I get it.
And Mike upstairs, though. And Mike is looking down. Yeah, so I'm like, your Mike is in that.
Shanahan squared. It's Shanahan squared.
So I'm telling you right now, so if I was Kyle Shanahan, I promise you next week, Trey Lance is going to play a lot more than Jimmy G. Because y'all went against a bottom feeder defense. The Philadelphia Eagles are a top 5 defense.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
We don't really
I'm not going to fight you.
Blitz. No, we don't really need to blitz in order to get to the quarterback. Yeah. So I'm just trying to see if I'm Kyle Shanahan and I'm looking at the tape from the Falcons game, because that's the only tape they have on the Philadelphia Eagle offense. It's 1 week worth of tape. So he has to try to say, oh my God, there's no way that I'm going to put the Statue of Liberty back there, Jimmy G, and get beat up like that. Man, there's no way.
I agree. I don't think it's a good idea. Now that you're explaining it to me, okay. Yeah, they're gonna flip-flop a lot between them, I think.
A lot. Sure.
Yeah.
A lot. So I mean, look,
Statue of Liberty.
The Statue of Liberty. It can't move nowhere. So your O-line yesterday.
He scrambled a bit. He did scramble a bit. I'll give you that. It wasn't very pretty, but whatever.
I mean, look, the Detroit line is an NFL team. All right. So I'm not going to say, hey, they played against some high school kids, just like, a lot of haters out there is saying that the Eagles play a very sorry team, but it's fine with that. But your offensive line, I saw some stats yesterday that nobody gave up a hit or a sack besides just one guy. So, yeah. So how do you all right, so I think I showed you this before we started, right? I really think I did. I really think I showed you this before we started this.
I don't want to see it again.
How do you feel that your Statue of Liberty guy or your offensive line is going to do against these boys right here from the city of Philadelphia at home? And there are like open doors, kicking in. They are going through offensive linemen like they're not even there. So how do you feel like your stats? You know what? I'm going to keep playing it until you start talking about it.
Okay, honestly.
Look at these boys right here. You think
they look good. They look good, and they're scaring me a little bit. I'm not going to lie. I honestly just want to put the screen away because I don't want to look at that anymore. But, okay, I think I said this to you, too. Like, I'm getting reminiscent of that, that you saw out of Ray Lewis. You know what I mean? That's what those guys remind me of. I'm not going to toot your horn too much on it because, you know what? We're still talking about one game that you guys won. Just one. So chill. Chill. No, but okay. Offensive line is something that we had a big time struggle with last year. And so to look at that image and to watch these guys do their thing, I'm like, okay, that's a little scary. That is like the quarterbacks could get crushed. And so I'm hoping that you're right about them throwing in Lance a little bit more because at least he'll be able to run out of those situations. But I think that in yesterday's game, they actually played quite well. Like they were pretty good.
Actually, they did.
Compared to last season, every flipping time Jimmy was getting sacked. Every time. Or whoever was out there. When we had Mullins in there, we had friggin' CJ Beathard in there. Like we were just a, crapshoot of quarterbacks going out there, but they were all getting sacked because the offensive line was not strong. And it was somebody like Mike McGlinchey was somebody I constantly was like, what is this guy doing? He needs to step up. There's, he's wearing this number 69. Like you'd think he'd be a better player. Come on. No, he was horrible. But yesterday's game just kind of made me see, okay, I understand why Shanahan, was optimistic about the line because they played really well. They only allowed that one sack, and again, we're talking about Detroit. So I get it. A lot of people are like, don't get too crazy. You're talking about Detroit. But you know what? I still think that if they bring that same fire that they had in yesterday's game, that we can at least hold our own against you guys. And if not, we got Lance cruising around and he gets out of there and he's fine. So I'm not going to say 100% that they are the starting offensive line of the NFL. They're the best thing ever because they're not. They're just not there. But like in yesterday's game, I would say they're definitely top 5 right now, which is probably a little bit of an overreaction, but I'll take it.
No, I like the Trent Williams addition, though. I think that the Trent Williams pickup was a huge addition because believe me, we face him twice a year, every year for as long as I can remember. Against Washington Redskins at that time. So look, I like him. But besides him,
he's Big Bear, man. Like he's incredible.
Yeah, but he's only one man.
I know. He can't do it all.
Hey, you're going against 4 monsters.
Yeah.
On the front 4 defensive line. So I don't know who else is on your offensive line that you happy about or excited about, but I can name you about 8 defensive line that I'm excited about that could go against that offensive line and take out that one like Trent Williams out the picture, and then we still be, the best.
McGlinchey's kicked it up a notch. Like I do think that he's playing a little bit better than last year, and I think that he realizes that he's got a little bit more, chip on his shoulder, and he has to play with that, or else we're gonna crumble. And so Shanahan's done something to him because he has kicked it up, and I am a little bit more excited for him this season. So I don't know if it's as bad as you think, but yeah, you're right. You can name me a lot more players than I can name that would, spar up against each other. And I get it. Like the offensive line is somebody that just because of past experiences, I'm worried about for this season. I'm not going to get overconfident over one game, what I saw from them, although I was excited about it. But again, it's the Lions. So I don't want to get too overzealous, but I am okay with them. How would I give you that? I'll give them a grade of like a B. All
right. I hear you. Hey, let's start reading some of these comments, man. Hey, some of these comments are funny.
Are they? Oh my God.
Bobby Murphy, Trey Lance ain't ready.
Oh, tell that to the 49ers fan base. Every single one of them, they're tweeting out right now, free Lance or free Trey or whatever it is. Because they're like, put this guy in more, put this guy. And I get it. Like, he's exciting, but I don't know if he's ready either. I kind of agree with Bobby.
Spa City Chop. You can't be serious. The Lions almost came back and beat y'all. Like, what happened with that?
Yeah, but that was on defense. That's defense's problem. I'm sorry. That has nothing to do with the offense. There was a couple boo-boos, but like the fumble off of George Kittle's face mask, that was ridiculous. And that was like an onside kick and it just went wrong. Like that's a series of unfortunate events.
So you're telling me your defense won't be on the field on Sunday? It'll be all offense?
No, but the defense, but okay, listen, but the offense I'm not worried about. It's the defense I'm a little concerned for sure. That's something I even
your
made in my notes.
defense is not playing on Sunday.
No, they definitely are.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. That's what my guy Spot City Chop is saying. Hey, y'all can't be. The Lions almost came back. Y'all were up. Matter of fact, 41-17.
24 points. Yeah, there was a 24-point deficit.
2 minutes left. And it was a 7-point game.
I know. It was disgusting. Trust me. Okay. Just to kind of tip like on that, I'm going to be sad on Sunday. You know what? I'm not a sad fan anymore. I went through last season. If you guys think that I'm going to be sad after a loss to the Eagles, imagine losing to the Dolphins. Like, come on. I've been there, done that.
Oh, man. Your jinx is crazy. All right. So next one. Walter Hickerson. Go Craig, go. Mac from where? Cal. Mac from where? Who's Mac?
Alex Mack?
Probably.
He's talking about Alex Mack, our center. I think. I don't know who he's talking about.
All right, so let me see. Covert Chili, hey, what's up? My first time in live shooting. Hey, I appreciate you just stopping by. Here we go. Philly Ace 21. Eagles is going to win 24-20. Let's go.
I think it's going to be a higher score. I do think it's going to be higher.
We will get your prediction. We will surely get your prediction. So we'll see. North Dakota State quarterback always suck. Look at Carson Wentz. Trey Lance is different, man. Look, hey, Bobby, look. I can't even.
Why is Bobby such a hater, man?
Hey, no, he's not hating because
he's hating on my guy.
But we only saw one North Dakota State was Carson Wentz.
Yeah,
and he disappointed us. He broke our heart over and over again, and we're glad that he's gone. So we glad.
Can I tell you what the nickname always was that I called him?
Okay.
Carson Won'ts.
Won'ts.
I think everybody called him that, but I used to write about him, and I'm like, oh, Carson Won'ts. Yeah, anyways.
Oh, man.
I'm glad you guys got rid of him. Jalen Hurts is incredible.
Oh, yeah, we love Jalen Hurts so far. But at that time, though, we didn't love the pick.
Yeah.
Nobody from Philadelphia loved the pick. It was a second-round pick.
Yeah.
You just paid Carson Wentz 4 years, $130+ million. So why not put some weapons around him? Mm-hmm. And that's why we're so puzzled, like confused, like what's really going on. So that's why that nobody from the Philadelphia Eagles fan could understand it, love that pick at all. Hindsight 2020, and looking back, man, we love that pick. Woo! Let's go. So, bye-bye, Wentz. Hey.
Were you one of the people that didn't like the pick too?
No, absolutely not.
I guess not. It kind of reminds me of what happened in San Francisco this past year, for sure. Because we paid Jamie all that money as well. And then we go out and draft a quarterback in the first round, and like it's kind of confusing. But yeah, I think it's the longevity of it that you're going to look at, okay, down the road, the bigger picture. This is a guy that's going to help us, right?
Yeah.
And now you guys are feeling that, and that's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah, we feeling it. I mean, our GM came out last week and said this. We got 4 playoff wins, and Carson Wentz was not one of them.
No.
And he was our starting quarterback. So, yeah, that said a lot. So, hey, look, we are glad he's gone. And right now he's with the Colts, and good luck with that. Walter Dickerson, 49ers, 42-20. Wow.
Woo! I love Walter. Oh, Walter's my guy. This is so cute. We always interact with each other. I love that.
This is the worst take I've ever heard.
Oh,
no. We already know Eagles going to win. The Eagles fans are deep in here.
I love it, though.
49ers defense has regressed. And watching the highlights, though, real quick, like it's one game. But watching the highlights, Detroit was getting anything that they wanted to get. Like, I can't see from first quarter to fourth quarter. I watched the Philadelphia Eagles game. I was like, come on, Philly, stop the run. Just stop the back cut. But they adjusted. And in the second half, it was not like lights out.
Yeah.
But I watched the highlight for the 49ers and the Lions, like the whole game. Man, they were just getting anything they wanted. Hockenson, the tight end he was killing
Hockey is incredible. Yeah, he is incredible.
But we got 2 of them.
I know.
We got Hurts and Goddard. So if y'all can't stop 1, how y'all gonna stop 2?
Yeah,
and
I
then
know.
we got.
Wait, is Ertz okay? Is Ertz okay? By the way, is he gonna play?
I mean, we'll see. It's only Monday,
right?
So we'll see. But even if you don't play, we still got another tight end that's waiting.
Goddard is great. I do love him. I've picked him up in a bunch of leagues.
Yeah. So see, Goddard, and then we got Sanders, Miles Sanders, Devontae Smith. That's your number 1 DB is out for the year with a torn ACL. So who's going to match up against him? We don't know yet.
We don't know. That's the sad part, right? Like, that is the sad part.
Yeah, so I think if Bosa don't get to Hurts, it's going to be a long day. Because, like for real, though, because Nick Bosa is your best guy.
Yeah.
Like, he's your best rusher. Y'all paid him all that extension money for a reason. He's the man. So if he can't get to Hurts, then it's going to be a long day.
We're struggling, and it's Javon Kinlaw that was inactive, right? So he's the guy that I'm a little worried. Like, that's a guy that I watched last season that I'm like, this guy's ceiling is so high. This guy's incredible. He's whatever. But he's inactive for whatever reason, and the 49ers have just struggled to stop the run. That's something that was really hard. There were way too many gaps open for these guys to just run through. Kentavious Street, like, he made his debut. He got a sack. Bosa had a sack, but I'm sorry, Bosa we're used to seeing a lot more out of. So that was a little underwhelming for me. I do think because he's coming off of a pretty, disgusting injury that he's maybe taking it a little easy right now. I do think there's way more boom in there, and maybe he'll bring that boom against you guys. That's what I'm praying for. But yeah, no, the D is a little concerning. And you know what? This is something I was talking to with a bunch of 49ers fans as well, is that I am missing and I am feeling, the regression of not having Robert Saleh anymore. Like, he is somebody that he would be standing on those sidelines and he's screaming and he's jumping up and down as if that's his actual son out there playing and making those, those tackles and everything. So to not have Robert Saleh, I think that does make such a difference on our defensive core. It's something that we're just going to have to work through, I think, because D'Amico Ryan's I think he's a great dude. He just doesn't show that same emotion. And so the guys aren't playing with that same emotion. Like, I'm just seeing that, but I think it's give and take, and we'll get there. We will get there.
I wanted him as our head coach for real. He was my number one guy.
I know, and he went to the Jets, and that sucks.
He went to the Jets. I mean, the Jets have potential. I mean, they're young, so we'll see. He can't be worse than the last coach that left the Jets. I think his case.
Kevin Gase, that guy was crazy.
Whatever his name is. Yeah. But so Ethan X, what's your channel? This is your official website, correct?
Yes. Yeah. And I'm at I used to be 49ers Chrissy, but stuff went down with that. So no, I'm Chrissy's Fantasy on Twitter. I can put it up on there for you guys too.
Yeah.
Because it's a little weird. Like, I put the S. I can't comment on this, can I? No, I can't. Can you comment on it?
I can.
Can you put CRYSSYS?
I'll just do this.
Because everybody misses the S, man. I gotta make the S known.
So it's gonna be on the bottom.
Oh, perfect.
It's gonna be on the bottom. So all right. So the biggest offensive weapon on the 49ers is who? Is it Kittles, Debo? I know Ayuk didn't play yesterday. Trust me, I benched him on my fantasy because I feel like that Ayuk was gonna out. I didn't draft Debo for a reason because of last year. He broke my heart. So I'm like, you know what? I'm about to go with Ayuk. And now he's not playing. I'm like, God, I should have picked damn Debo. He went off. So is it Kels? So if we stop Kittles, are your offense done? Because last year when we played the 49ers, I believe he had like perfect reception, 15 out of 15 receptions, and 185 something yards and multiple touchdowns. He killed us last year, and y'all still lost because y'all had what was that quarterback y'all had that we brought into our team this year?
Was it Nick Mullins? Yeah, Nick Mullins.
Y'all had
Noodle arm Nick. That's what I used to call him.
But Kelsey went off last year, and y'all still lost. Well,
Kittle went off. Yeah,
Kittle went off. No, I know. Year, and y'all still lost. So who's the biggest? So if we stop Kittles, who's going to step up? Because Mostert is out for at least 8 games.
Yeah.
I mean, Jimmy G is not going to have time to throw it all over the field. And a couple of routes I saw today through the highlights, Kittles is the guy that get that offense running. If he's not on point, then the offense is stale.
Yeah.
And that's when everything goes to hell because, I mean, now y'all one dimension. And now it's all about the run.
Okay, but let me say, so there's a couple names. Like, I know Debo was underwhelming last year for you, but Debo in the game yesterday, he went, 9 receptions for 189 yards. He had a touchdown. Every time we needed a clutch first down, he was there and he grabbed it. He fumbled the ball once, and that was kind of a big boo-boo because after that, things kind of look crap. But he was just on point, and he's somebody that works really well with Jimmy. I'm starting to find a trend. There's certain receivers that do really well. So Kittle and Jimmy have always done well. They had a couple connections yesterday too, and I was really pumped on that. But I think Debo, he's spicy, man. Like, he hasn't lost his touch, and I know the injuries kind of were worrisome for me this season, but I didn't pick him up in my leagues. I went with Ayuk because I was like, Ayuk, he in the past, his second season when he was in university, his second season was double what his first was. So I kind of banked on him doing the same thing this year. But I think he's holding back a little bit, and they're going to hold him to just doing punt returns for a little bit until that hamstring is completely fine because they don't want to lose him. But another name is Trent Sherfield. This is a receiver that I think you guys really need to keep an eye on because he is somebody that him and Lance really connect. And he's somebody during practice and during training camp and everything. He just outshined so many receivers and completely earned his spot on the roster. And so I am excited for him. I think that if Debo's not having a game, it's probably going to be Sherfield. Like Sherfield's he stepped it up.
Yeah. I mean, so Kittles. So who's the guy on the 49ers we need to stop? Kittles or what?
I mean, Kittle is always the guy, right? But Kittle, they're using him differently now. Like, I don't know if you've noticed, he's not just getting out there and catching balls. Like, he's blocking a lot. He's a good blocker, and he's somebody that, like, yeah, if you can shut him down there, maybe it'll be good for you guys. But we've got Debo who runs his routes and runs them well. You know, he can get down the field, and he's great. Sherfield, again, is somebody maybe you guys got to look out for. So, and then you got Elijah Mitchell, the little running back that I think can do anything. He's like mini Mostert, and he's somebody that he catches the ball and he's gone. So that's somebody you got to watch out for as well, for sure.
Okay.
I think the whole offensive, like, I really like what I'm seeing out of our offense this year, which is nice because last year it was kind of the opposite. I was like, our D is keeping us in there. That's what's great. This year it's more the O. So kind of flopped a little bit.
Hey, look, next week is really going to be a big test for both teams.
Yeah.
Like, you know, everybody's saying that the first week we play some, you know, toilet paper teams. Okay. I got it. But next week is going to be big. But I think that the Philadelphia Eagles have a slight advantage because it's at Philly and not at your house.
Yeah.
So, but we'll get into the predictions and, you know, your biggest concern a little bit later. But Miss Bird Game 31, shout out to her. She's always in the chat. Biggest supporter. We coming for the Niners next. Fly, Eagles, fly. I'm telling you. Convert, and then y'all number one.
Don't remind me. Stop it.
Yes, y'all number one CB towards ACL, and Devontae Smith is going to cook y'all. You guys really don't got anyone outside of Nick Bosa. No, that's not true. Because
Trent Williams,
Warner,
and
Fred Warner, and Greenlaw, right?
Yeah, but Greenlaw's got the groin. But Greenlaw literally, like, I don't know if you guys saw that game against Seattle that we had that crucial stop at the line. And, like, had they gotten that, they would have won the game. But we ended up winning them after, like, I don't know how many years in their own house. That was all Greg Greenlaw. That guy is Dr. Dre, man. I love that guy. So don't count. Like, we have the pieces there. This guy just doesn't know the 49ers.
But see, I just think that people feel like that Jimmy G is your weak link.
I know.
Jimmy G is
which is fair. Which is fair. You know what? I look
Jimmy
at last year.
Dollar store Nick Foles.
Oh.
And Nick Foles won us a Super Bowl, so I don't really know. Hey, Jimmy G had a chance to win y'all a Super Bowl, so he didn't. So
he overthrew Emmanuel Sanders. But you know what? Can we just? How come everybody puts that loss on him when the defense let the Kansas City Chiefs cook and come back? So I'm sorry, that's not Jimmy.
But the thing is, the last minute, all people remember is he had a golden opportunity to make that throw.
I know.
And he overthrew Emmanuel Sanders.
He is not an elite quarterback.
So, and that's why that, you know, from the jump, even all the experts was like, Jimmy G need to be traded. Trey Lance. You know, Kyle Shanahan drafted Trey Lance for a reason. His playbook needs to get expanded like RG3. You know, like that's what Trey Lance remind me of. And RG3. That year, RG3 won Rookie of the Year when he was with the Redskins.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
So that's the reason why people was like, the 49ers, we could beat the 49ers because of the Statue of Liberty back there that can't move. He's not going to want to run. His first couple looks, by the time he goes to the second look, Fletcher Cox going to be all up in his grill. Brendan Graham, you know, Hargrave. We are knocking down. Do you want to see that one thing again I showed you already? Hey, by the time he goes to the second look, by the time Jimmy G go to his second look, this is coming. He's not going to have no time to sit back there. He's going to look one way. By the time he goes there, we are about to kick in them doors. You hear me? Boom. That offensive line better be ready because this boy's right here from Philly. They ain't playing. We are underdogs this year. You know what? And that's the other thing, right? This year, the Philadelphia Eagles have never came into a season being so disrespected and being an underdog. Never like this before. This was bad. Our head coach got made fun of. Our quarterback, because he played some rock, paper, scissors. His first press conference was, a little bobbled and stuff like that. Our quarterback rumored all off season, Deshaun Watson, is fully going to get rid of, Hurts. He can't throw. He's not accurate enough. Our defensive line is old. Fletcher Cox, getting compared to Aaron Donald. Oh, he's not that type of player. Offensive line, they're old. They can't stay healthy. I'm telling you right now.
That's kind of ridiculous.
Every game, and that's the problem. But it's good for us. It's bad for y'all.
You guys have a chip on your shoulder now, man. You do.
We are from Philly. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we take things personal. Like we hear the rumors, the chirping and stuff like that, and we don't forget. We just take it out on the opponent that we are facing. So, like I said, Jimmy G better be ready for this right here, because that's all is going to happen on Sunday. Them boys right here is going to come through the offensive line. I'm telling you right now, they are about to come. And just tell
if they touch Jimmy G, they can put me in. I'll go in there and I'll crush those guys. Don't worry.
Okay. All right. And now we're being ridiculous. All right. Okay. So what's your prediction for Devontae Smith? I mean, do you think he scored a touchdown against y'all defensive back or Richard Sherman or Morgan? Like Josh Morgan, I think it is.
Josh Norman.
Oh, yeah.
I don't even know.
That's trash. I don't even remember his name no more.
I think it's Domidor Lenoir that's going to be in there. That's going to either be playing that position that JV would be in, which is so sad. JV again. I'm sorry, prayer up to him. But if we sign Sherm, great. But I don't know if Norman's going to be good to go. So that CB position is just very for me, right? Like I don't know what's going to happen. And you're right. Like Smith will probably score a touchdown. Like we don't even know who's going to be there covering him. So I'm going to give you that one for sure. But maybe Manny Mosley gets back out there. Like I interviewed that guy last season and he's such a sweet angel that like, I just hope that he gets back out there and like has a dominant game and like can show people like, look, okay, I'm that next man up. Right. So that's what we're at right now for the cornerback position is we need that next man up mentality. If we don't, you guys can walk all over us. Like, I'll be honest. I believe it because that's a position I'm super concerned about right now.
Okay. A Philly fan says, I'm a diehard Eagles fan, but the 49ers are 4-time the team the Falcons are. Absolutely. Look, I agree. And we all agree. Everybody in Philadelphia is not taking the 49ers light at all. But we're
not taking you guys lightly either, man, honestly.
I know. So we just feel confident because of a home field advantage that we had. Last year, no fans allowed at the link at all.
Oh,
no fans.
Are you going to the game?
I'm not going to the game. Not this one. No. But this year, the fans, this is the first home game since 2 years ago. Yeah. So they're about to come out, show out, and it's going to be a very tough environment. We already been called the meanest fans alive, because of our enthusiasm, of our, our happiness for our team. Yes, we boo our own quarterback, our own coach, who cares? But that motivates our team, though. They feed off of that. So that's why, but other teams, when they come to the link, they don't even want to be there from the jump. And that's why I think that we have an advantage. But it's only one guy on y'all team that I'm fear of is Kittle.
Really?
Kittle. That's it. Absolutely.
I love Kittle, man. He wished me a happy birthday last year. That guy's amazing. I love him.
Yeah. He's like a Gronk, a Kelsey, like all these big physical tight end, a Jason Witten.
His right. Yeah. He does kind of remind me of that. Yeah.
Exactly. Like helmet come off. He's still going to try to knock you out with your helmet on. Yeah. So I've seen it last year against the Saints.
He's a greedy man.
Against us. Absolutely. So Kittle is my only fear. Nobody else. We stop him, then y'all one dimension. But hey, we'll see what happens.
I love that you put it all on Kittle, man.
Yeah,
that's great. Because I believe in Kittle.
So absolutely. So 21 point, but 29th in defense. Who's 29th in defense? Wait, y'all are.
We're probably 29th, honestly.
Oh, because after this past Sunday, right?
Yeah. I guess so. I don't know. I don't look at the rankings. Okay, that's what we're going. 24-20. That's somebody else said that earlier too.
24-20.
I think it's going to be higher. I think it's going to be a higher scoring game.
I think so too. I think that it probably will be in the 30s. Honest truth, because I feel like that unless a couple turnovers happen and now one team become one-sided, then the other team could take advantage of. But I think it's going to be a shootout, and whoever make that one crucial mistake will lose the game.
Yeah, so, I agree.
Eagles front four excel on stationary quarterbacks. Statue of Liberty, man. Statue of Liberty. I agree. Philly fan. The offensive line for the Falcons is ranked 28th. Got it.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. I don't see the Niners winning with Trey Lance or Jimmy G. Okay. Dang. No chance.
That's rough. That's rough. Yeah, I know. It's like either one goes in, we're screwed.
No shot. No shot. Jerron Hargrave, this is, man, you should be scared of our defense. They're our balls.
Dude, I am scared. Like, I'm not going to sit here and pretend I'm not.
He's a beast. Barry Murphy, full house at the Link on Sunday. Bring your earplugs, 49ers fans. It's going to be lit. Yes, sir. Coach, what's going on, my guy? We know how it can be with no O-line, but we are healthy now. And that's the problem, right? The Philadelphia Eagles was being doubted because their O-line last year was like
probably injured. Like ours, yeah.
Like
ours was
injured
horrible.
Completely. So how do you judge a team because of the injuries? And then coming into the season, you think that they're going to be the exact same team from the previous year. And that's the issue with everybody that was injured on any team. You have to look at the players themselves and say, you know what? If the Eagles offensive line is healthy, they are this good. If the San Fran offensive line is healthy, they are this good. You can't go off of last year and then put chips on all these players' shoulders to go hey hunting on every team. And that's the problem that's going on now. So let's see. All right. So let's go to this question. Let me see here. Your biggest concern facing the Philadelphia Eagles next week?
Oh, okay. So I was watching a lot of the Eagles going into like the preseason and everything. I wanted to watch the Eagles because I was debating with people about Jalen Hurts. He's somebody that for fantasy reasons, I was like, look, I think he's going to be a really strong person in fantasy. I think he's got the skill set to run them. I think he's got the skill set to throw. Like he's just kind of that guy, like a poor man's Kyler Murray. That's what I said before the season started. So my biggest concern, I think, is Jalen Hurts. I think that when you look at the 49ers compared to the Eagles, you guys by far have the better quarterback. And it hurts me to say that because, like, I know, we saw some good stuff out of Jimmy in the game yesterday, but, like, I'm just not fully confident in him yet just because, again, we could get crushed. If he gets crushed behind that O-line, you guys have the pieces there to do it. It makes me a little bit nervous. And I think that if Jalen Hurts gets on a roll, that's something that's going to be very hard to stop, especially when we don't have that cornerback position. So just to kind of say it all again, like losing Jason Verrette was like one of the most horrible things that could have happened. And then I do think it's going to give your guys' offense that upper hand for sure. And that scares me.
Okay. I mean, you sound like me against the Falcons because I told everybody, if we stop Matt Ryan, I'm not worrying about no Kyle Pitts, no Ridley.
Like Kyle Pitts did nothing in that game, man.
Because we stopped Matt Ryan. So I'm about to go the opposite way. If we stop Jimmy G, I don't believe that that Deebo Samuel with the coverage that we're going to play or Ayuk, even if he even
we don't know if he'll be there.
Yeah. Exactly. So I think that just based on what I saw last year when we played y'all last year.
Oh, that was horrible.
Kittles killed us. He killed us. The only reason why we won that game is because y'all did not have a better quarterback in the backfield.
Yeah.
Because there's no way you can let a tight end go for 180-something 5 yards. And that many yards, that many touchdowns, and win the game.
Yeah.
So I feel like now, if y'all put Trey Lance back there, which I'm telling you right now, if I'm a gambling man, I'm going to say that Trey Lance will play more than Jimmy G will.
I'm excited to see that, man.
This might be Trey Lance. Hey, we need you out there. These guys are too fast. We need to, shake things up a little bit.
Yeah.
So just what I saw from yesterday against the Lions, we have a way better defensive front than the Lions.
Yeah.
And Jimmy G had a lot of time back there. So that's why he was able to throw for what 300 something
314 yards, which I thought was really good for Jimmy.
Exactly, because of the Lions wasn't getting to him.
Yeah.
And I already showed you what we're going to do, kicking that door. So I believe that Trey Lance on Sunday will be his coming out party. And Jimmy G might take a back seat in week 3.
Dude, I'm okay with it as long as we get the win. I'm okay. Throw either of them in there. Just give me the win.
All right, so let's go. All right. Because I'm just confused, right? I don't know what kind of defense are y'all going to run against a mobile quarterback, one, and 4 wideouts. Because if you watch the Philadelphia Eagle highlights, there was a whole bunch of 4 wide, 5 wide, and a mobile quarterback.
Mm-hmm. So
what type of defense do you think that the 49ers should run then in order to stop that type of offense?
Right now, with the concerns that we have at like the different positions, I don't know what they're gonna do. And like I knew what Robert Saleh was like. I don't know what Ryan's is gonna be like. I have no idea what his scheming plan is gonna be. I think the biggest thing is that we do just need to I don't know. We got to cover everybody, obviously, but like we got to fill that cornerback position because that's where I think we're going to struggle. That's going to be the biggest issue for us. I don't think it's going to be up front. I think it's going to be the back, like out there. Your receivers are going to have a heyday if we can't figure that out. That's what I think is going to happen.
All right. So within your division, y'all are in the hardest division, like by far. They all
won. Every one of them won.
Every team is undefeated. So who's your biggest competitor in that division? And do y'all even think you're going to make the playoffs, And who will be out of that division? What spot y'all be taking in that division to make the playoffs? Because the Seahawks got Russell Wilson, a mobile quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
The Cardinals got Murray, a mobile quarterback. What's his name?
Jared Goff? No, he's not there anymore. Matt
Stafford.
Yeah, they swapped it up. And that guy's really good, man. He looked good with the Rams.
He's really good.
Yeah.
So y'all probably have the worst quarterback in that division. So usually the team with the worst quarterback do not win. So like, how do you feel that you're going to do in that division?
So I think that I know the quarterback situation is never fun to look at, but like I was saying earlier, because we have that situational quarterback plays that we can do. Like we can put in Lance for those running plays. We can put him in for that long ball. And we got Jimmy to do those quick slants and everything, get us that third down. Like he dominated on third down always. Like when he was in there for 2019, as much as people want to shit on Jimmy, sorry to swear, but as much as they want to do that, like he was able to convert on third down all the time for us. And I think that's still one of his greatest strengths. I do think, looking at all the other guys in the division, they have the stronger quarterbacks, but they don't have the defense that we have in Fred Warner, the defense that we have in Nick Bosa. Like Nick Bosa makes such a difference just being out on that field. Like I said, I'm a little worried just learning the new coaching plays and everything because we don't have Saleh. I think missing him we're going to feel that for sure. But our offensive line severely improved. The reason I think our quarterback looked so bad before was because we had such a trash offensive line. Now that we have a little bit more time to play with some stuff, I think we end up getting more of those conversions. I think we end up marching more down the field. And I'm not too concerned. I don't think we're going to be the top of the division. I did think that originally, but I don't think we're going to be top. But I think we'll be right underneath either the Rams or the Cardinals.
So what place is that?
Second. We're going second.
Okay, so who's first in that division?
That's what I'm saying. It's either going to be Rams or Cardinals. Just depends how it plays out. I don't know who I like more.
So Seattle is not even.
No, Seattle. I can't ever put them there. I'm sorry. That's my own bias. But like their offensive line is trash. They don't have a good offensive line. They didn't fix that hole. And it's Russell Wilson. You can say that. But Russell Wilson, he has moments where he's not the greatest too. So I don't know. And then I'm looking at like what he has pieces wise. He's got Tyler Lockett, which I have him on my fantasy league. He was incredible for me. I'm not going to lie. DK Metcalf is awesome. You know that too. So yeah, they've got the pieces there and everything, but I do think that eventually people are going to start to figure out Russ and they're going to just demolish him like they did last year. That's just my 2 cents.
Interesting. All right. So Quentin Banks, the 49 run game is nasty. They can't put anyone. I agree. Look, I mean, I'm an Eagles fan, but anybody at the 49ers put back there in the run game goes off.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how's that possible? Like, the same games might get hurt than the next person go in and just run for 100.
Yeah.
I think, is it the system or the players that they get in themselves? Like, what is it? Like,
I think it's the system because they take them and they do well with them. And honestly, like, I think they have such a like Trey Sermon, for example, he's somebody that I thought was going to start for the 49ers, but they have such a system where they're like, look, you need to play at this caliber as a running back or you're not going to play. And so I don't think Sermon hit the quota in order to get out there, but somebody like Elijah Mitchell did, somebody like Hasty did, right? And so now with Mostert out, are we going to see maybe Trey Sermon get a little bit more of those touches? Probably, but it seems like every one of those guys, they have like, there's something in their head that they're like, look, you have to play at this caliber or you're not playing. So yeah, I do think they're all capable of 100+ in a game for sure.
Interesting.
And that's scary. That is scary because like to have that many great running backs, like you can just, I don't know, you can dominate teams with the running back alone, which is kind of nice.
Yeah. You know what? Banks. Yo, I forgot you had D Ford.
Man, and he was incredible. I forgot
you had D Ford because did he play for the Chiefs last year or a couple years ago?
The last game that he played in was November 14th, 2019. So he didn't play against the Chiefs. He went out on injury in November, and that was his last game. So then we haven't seen D Ford literally until yesterday. He made his debut, and guess what? He recorded a sack. So I'm pretty excited for what I see out of D Ford. I forgot that we have him too because I'm like injured. And I'm like, oh my God, he's back. He's back. Oh.
I mean, look, your front seven is nice.
The front seven is scary. They are scary, yeah.
But it's the back end that's going to kill
exactly.
Y'all.
That's what bothers me, and that's something that I feel like as a team, that's something you got to fix ASAP. Don't do it again.
Ethan. Hey, this is for Ethan. Hey, Ethan and TA, and they all love this clip right here because this is what we're about to do on Sunday. We are coming. So I had to
I love the confidence.
show my supporters some love and show them what they want to see. That clip of us coming through the door.
I think that's the 4th time now.
hey, that's it.
I know what I signed up for, man. It's all good.
Right. So, hey, Quentin, all these people are saying that Jimmy plays, then it's a win for the Eagles. But Hurts is trash. They must have forgot. Wow. Banks is coming with the shot fired. He's saying that Jalen Hurts is trash and Jimmy G is better than Jalen Hurts.
Dude.
Man.
I love Jimmy.
I love it.
Like, come on, I'm wearing a Jimmy, but I'm not going to say Jalen Hurts is trash. No, you go look at the film, man.
Yo, I love it, Jimmy. Hey, keep it coming, Quentin. Keep it coming. Yo, this guy doesn't know the 49ers are runs. I probably know the 49ers better than you do.
Dude, right? And he was just saying.
I probably know the 49ers better than you do. I said that anybody that you put back there is outstanding regardless. I'm scared of Kittles. Deebo Samuels could do his thing. I picked him in fantasy last year. I draft IU this year. I mean, it's just Jimmy G. That's the only reason why that everybody, even the so-called experts, if y'all put Trey Lance back there, I guarantee you that everybody going to say that the 49ers are the team to beat in that division or would give the Rams a run for their money.
Yeah.
I promise you. But right now, because of Jimmy G is back there, so they're kind of like, okay, because the Kyle Shanahan playbook is not open. He's only playing half of his playbook right now.
Yep.
And that's why you see Trey Lance coming in there every once in a while to shake things up. But if you have Trey Lance in there from the jump, then you ain't got to shake things up.
True.
You could open your playbook 100%. So just like yesterday with the Falcons, if Carson Wentz was sitting back there, he would have got sacked 3-4 times.
Ouch.
But since Jalen Hurts is back there, the playbook is expand because now he's mobile.
He's running. Yeah,
exactly. He's running, and now you could throw this RPO in there, run your quarterback without the fear of him getting hurt.
So many more options, yeah.
It's a lot more option. So I'm not saying that the 49ers are not a good run team. Like, my main point is you stop Kittle, then you become a one-sided team because I feel like that he's that guy. He's that dude. If you take him out, and then you got
it is a bit of
Jimmy
a difference
G
maker.
back there.
Yeah.
So Kittles is out. Jimmy G's back there. I don't just see it happening. Like,
don't sleep on Debo, though. Don't sleep on Debo, man.
The only reason I say because Jimmy G is stationary and the Eagle pass rush within 3-4 seconds, they are coming through that door. Like, they are coming through the offensive line. So that's all I'm saying. That's it. I mean, I'm not disrespecting Jimmy G at all. I'm just saying that this game right here is a bad matchup for him.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think you put Lance in there for sure because Lance will be able to get out of there, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So, Richard, 31-20 Eagles. Absolutely. King Joffrey Joffer. Look, this guy right here, right? He's a Falcons fan, by the way, right? And he was talking all this smack yesterday, about how his, Grady Jarrett was going to come and wreck our offensive line, and he was going to make all these plays, and it didn't happen. You need more than one guy. So you need more than Bosa, Ford. Those are two guys, all right? So you need, multiple Pro Bowls to go against a certain caliber offensive line.
Yeah.
And the Falcons just didn't have it. So that's all I was saying. TA, JC, what scares you about the 49ers? Kittles. I've been saying it.
You've been saying it.
That's it. Kittles. That's it. Richard, even though I'm an Eagles fan, Jerry Rice was the GOAT. Much respect for that.
You want to see something crazy? Okay, let's show Richard this.
The ball. The signed
I've got
ball.
a signed Jerry Rice ball. Yeah. This is my baby. I love this.
Yeah, I saw that. If I remember, our defense will eat that rookie alive.
This guy hates Trey Lance. Oh my gosh, I love to see it. It's funny.
Oh man. All right, so hey, man, let's get you out of here. So, all right, not biased, just facts. Just looking at both your offensive line, my defensive line, your defensive line, my offensive line, quarterbacks, the skill position, Debo, Ayuk, Kittles, Smith, Rager, Watkins, Hurts, Jimmy. Who come out on top? And tell me why. I don't want to say 49ers. Nope. I want to know, why do you think that your team will come out on top?
Okay, so I know that winning back-to-back games on the road is always a difficult feat for any team. And so that gives me a little bit of concern just knowing what we had to go through yesterday in that game and how probably disheveled the team is. The two losses, like Mostert's injury, JV's injury, those are things that are definitely going to sting a little bit. But it is going to make us, we are that team that has that next man up mentality. And I think if we're going to come through on Sunday against you guys, that next man up mentality really has to shine through. I don't think it's going to be an easy win by any means. I do think it's going to be a bit of a shooting match. But I think if it's going to come down to anything, because I think that we're pretty evenly matched up offensively wise. And it just really depends how you guys are against our O-line. Cause I do, that clip is going to scare me. It's probably going to haunt my dreams a little bit. We will utilize Lance a little bit more. I think he's going to run around. He'll do his thing, but I still think that Jimmy's that guy when he's out on the field, we win the games. And, I'm looking at people like Debo that have been playing really well. Somebody like a Trent Sherfield or all our running backs. Elijah Mitchell, he's going to continue to run. JaMychal Hasty. I think if all those pieces come together, we're going to have a fairly close game. But I'm going to say, what am I going to go with here? I'm going to say 33-30 for us, for the 49ers.
33-30.
Yeah, I think we're going to get up to the 30s. I do think it's going to come down to potentially that field goal. That's, how's your guys' kicker?
Are we good? Robbie Goldie's all right, too.
That's the thing. I think it comes down to whether they have a good game or not. That's really what I'm thinking.
I think it's going to come down who the coaches, though. the coach. It's gonna come down to the coaches. I can't hear you. Mm-mm. I can't hear you still.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
This mic every now and then just shits the bed. So,
all right.
I do think you're right, the coaches. But when you're looking at somebody like Kyle Shanahan, they call him the king of play calling. Like, I'm going to ride with Kyle Shanahan. He knows his team. He knows his squad. Like, he's got two little quarterbacks that he can do some fun stuff with. So,
see, I think more of who take the easy point and not try to go for like 4th down and 3, and then that stop the momentum instead of taking the 3.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be a close game. So it's going to come down to, are you smart enough just to just take what, the defense give you is a 3-pointer, like, a field goal. Are you going to take it, or are you going to try to go for it and then and change the whole momentum?
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like this. Your defensive line, Bosa and Ford, are big threats. No lie. But I feel like with the offensive line, with Mariota, with Samalu, with Kelsey, with Brandon Brooks, with Lane Johnson, we easily have a top 5 offensive line. Unless y'all bring in the blitz with a mobile quarterback, even if y'all get through with our mobile quarterback, now you got to set your liberty. But with our mobile quarterback, we're going to be able to escape the pocket. So with our offensive line just giving us Jalen Hurts just enough time that he will be fine. And our wide receivers wise, yes, like you don't even know if Ayuk is going to play. And if he play, how much
I don't think
he's
a difference maker. Yeah, exactly.
He's a difference maker. So now you got Debo and Kittle against Quez Watkins, Devontae Smith, Jalen Reagor, Dallas Goedert, Zach Ertz. He might be iffy. Miles Sanders, Kenneth Gainwell, and Jalen Hurts. All those offensive threats. Who's going to stop all those guys? But we could stop Kittle and Debo. Who else y'all got?
Yeah, but you're forgetting about the sneaky guys, man. Like Sherfield is somebody, again, like through training camp and through practice and everything, he has earned the right to be one of those starters. He beat out Jalen Hurts too. So Jalen Hurd, which we had as well. Like he was fighting for that top spot. And then you're forgetting about all our little running backs. We are the run game, right? So like we do have those guys. You got to stop a lot of pieces, man.
Yeah, look, I'm just going off of the known and the unknown. Yeah. We saw what our guys have, and you are assuming that your little guys have that. Right?
Yeah, okay. I'm talking about rookies, you're talking about the vets. That's fine. I get it.
Well,
rookie season can surprise though, okay? Don't sleep on them.
Look, Devontae Smith is a rookie.
Yeah.
Jalen Reagor is a second year, supposed to be bust. Quez Watkins, he barely played last year. So all these guys in my mind are
still fresh. Yeah, they are
still fresh. Jalen Hurts played like 3 games last year, and people said that, oh my God, he was like the worst quarterback in the NFL. So once again, everybody on our team are kind of rookies. Mm-hmm. But we saw what they are, the potential. Even at joint practice, they were always the best one on the field. Mm-hmm. So doing your joint practice, like we are undefeated in joint practice. Like our reporters, our Philadelphia Eagles was like straight up. Even other team reporters was like, "Yo, these guys were the best guys."
Trust me, I watched. I was scared. I'm like, "Look at Jalen Hurts, man. This guy's crazy. Like he's a running back himself."
Yes, honestly. Exactly. He reminded me of Russell Wilson. If you change that jersey from 1 to 3. Like you would think that's Russell Wilson. Like I live streamed this whole thing yesterday, right? The whole game. I did the play-by-play. I kept on saying,
"Oh my God, I love that."
I did. So I was like, if you take off Jalen Hurts' jersey and put a number 3 on it, you're not gonna be able to tell who's back there.
Yeah.
Like his intangibles, he's so aware of the pocket. His pocket presence. He's so smart with it.
He's special.
He slides. He is special. And so I feel like we got the advantage at quarterback, and overall on the offensive, the skill position, we have the advantage on the skill position. Now let's go to the defensive line. Bosa and Ford. And we got Cox, Hargrave, Barnett, Graham, Milton Williams. Man, I even mentioned the guy that changed the game yesterday. Oh man, I'm forgetting, but I'm blanking out right now. We have so many rotational pieces. Ryan Kerrigan could come in. Like we have so many rotational pieces. So all your rotational pieces, if Bosa go out, if D4 go out for a break, who do y'all have coming in that second tier to get to the quarterback?
I think Kentavious Street is somebody that could step up and do that for sure. Like he made his debut yesterday, and he got his first sack, and I think that that's something that, like, okay, he's gonna build off of that. He's gonna work with the D'Amico Ryans. He's gonna get stuff done. He will be that guy because, again, we're coming off of so many different injuries. Bosa is one of those guys that I get a little worried about. So I do think that Street could get up in there. We've got Zach Kerr and Kevin Gibbons, which both those guys were kind of underwhelming a little bit to me, but they allowed a little too many gaps. But I feel like if they can tighten up a little bit, I think they'll be okay. But I mean, you look at Fred Warner as well, man. Like Warner's everything. 11 tackles, like a team high. Yeah. So don't sleep on our
we matched your Warner for our Singleton.
Yeah.
Singleton had 11 yesterday. Warner had 11 yesterday. So we are matching
I like
linebackers.
That's fun.
All right. So we're matching linebacker. And then at the corner position, we got Big Play Slay.
You guys got us beat there. I'll be honest. Okay.
So, all right. So that means what? Could we neutralize Debo or that little other wide receiver that you're saying?
Trent Sherfield? I don't know. Sherfield goes deep, man. He goes deep. How fast are you guys' defense? How fast are the corners?
Well, it depends on the scheme. Like I don't think it's all about the speed. I just think that by the time he goes deep, will Jimmy G be on his back or on his feet? That's the difference.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you need time for a play to develop.
Agreed. Yeah.
You can't call streaks all day. Go, and then you just throw the ball. You can't call streaks all day.
Can I just interrupt you? I play in a flag football league as well. And like, this is one of the things that I'm like, everybody just run down the field, just get down the field, but it doesn't work. You're right. You're so right. Because the D starts to pick up on that, and they're going to follow you all the way down. And like, it doesn't matter who they are, how fast they are. Eventually they're going to catch you if you're tired. Exactly. Yes. Okay. Here we go. Number 5.
So what I'm saying is this, if you're saying that it's all about the speed and stuff like that, these guys right here got speed.
Boom. Yeah.
3-4 seconds they are coming. How y'all going to neutralize it? I don't know. So I feel like that we have the advantage on the defensive line, which will slow down, which will put the 49ers at a bad spot. That's why I think that Trey Lance is going to come in and play a lot more than Jimmy G. I know you are a fan of Jimmy G. I know you love him to death. But I'm telling you right now, Trey Lance is the only way that y'all could beat the Eagles, because it's the unknown factor. Like, we never seen Trey Lance before. Like, you know what I mean? So
nobody has. And there's probably some sneaky plays in there too, right? Exactly. That I feel like Kyle's got them ready to go for teams that are probably expecting somebody like Jimmy. And then they're going to throw in Lance and be like, boom, surprise.
Yeah, so look, I agree. But overall, I say that the Philadelphia Eagles win 27-24.
Ooh, a close one too. Okay, I love
it. I mean, ain't gonna be no blowout.
No.
On either side. So I feel like with our home field advantage, that our defense will come up with a crucial stop. Yeah. And we're gonna.
And those fans, man, you're right. Like when you were talking about the fans, I can just picture it, and like I just see what like Levi Stadium would be like when the fans get to go back there. That's going to be incredible. So yeah, you do have the advantage. It makes a difference when you have that atmosphere for sure.
Yeah, I mean, look, hey, I really, really appreciate you coming on here. I mean, I know we went over an hour and 24
Dude, it's fine. This was the best time. I was laughing the whole time.
24 minutes. So please let them know where they could find you at. I know I'll put your link down below, but just let them know where they could find you at and what you're working on and everything, because you do got a few Eagle fans in the chat. So you made some friends while you were here. So hey, it's all good. It's all brotherly, sisterly love, in the city of Philadelphia.
I love it. Yeah. So just so you guys know, the people that have joined now and that maybe didn't hear the little spiel in the beginning. So my name's Crystal. I go by Chrissy. So I'm at Chrissy's Fantasy on Twitter, CRYSSYS Fantasy. And then you can also find me on my website. I have my very own website. It's northernfaithful.com. The reason for Northern Faithful is because I actually am from Vancouver, British Columbia in Canada. I'm not from San Francisco. I never grew up there. I've been a fan of the 49ers for the last 11 years, but I didn't grow up watching the NFL. I kind of just fell in love with it as I got older, realized I wanted to be a sideline reporter in the NFL, and kind of just started doing all this analytical stuff. I was on Sports Illustrated last year. I was with Grant Cohn, who's like a legend for the 49ers. But yeah, I'm doing a lot of my own content now, which is really great. So again, you can find me on Twitter at Chrissy's Fantasy, and then check out my website. I will be posting basically game recaps, trying to get some cool interviews with some players that either played before or currently are playing. And then I've got some really cool news to drop soon too about my career endeavors, but that has something to do with, it's not really football related, it's something else. So you guys will have to stay tuned to that. And then I will also be doing a lot of fantasy stuff this year as well. I have, oh, that's so sweet. I have a podcast coming out soon with FF Fantasy Alarm. So they are going to be giving me my own podcast, and it's going to focus on mental health and athletes and just sports in general, and just talking a little bit of stuff that goes beyond the sport and beyond the score. So stay tuned for all that, guys.
All right. Hey, that was good. Hey, of course, if you're not subscribed to my channel, of course, just hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. It goes a long way, especially since we did have a 49er Eagle content creator on here, a 49er fan content creator on here. She does a lot of amazing work. So if you want this stream to get pushed out, so please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. And Sunday I will be doing a play-by-play again. And hopefully
I'll tune in, man.
Hopefully I have some 49er fans in here. Win or lose, look, it is what it is. It's all for fun. I mean, no disrespect. It's about the game and stuff like that. So I love every one of y'all. And as always, go Birds.